Welcome everybody. It is Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time. That means it is time once again for Making Hay with JRA. I am Lee Godbold. We are Junk Removal Authority, and Aaron's behind us running the show. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave it on Facebook or YouTube, and we will address that throughout today's episode. Also, hit that subscribe button if you would. Please subscribe if you guys are watching this channel, and like or dislike this video depending on what you think about it. JRA Call Center. Freedom in your life. You're no longer a slave to this phone. And just today, we've had two people, one yesterday, one today, and they're like, holy crap, how do you guys book so many jobs? These guys have been answering phones. They're the business owners. They've been answering phones, or one guy used another service. The other guy's been answering phones all along. We're booking jobs left and right. What time is it now? By noon. By noon today, we've already booked 8 jobs for one of these companies, and he's never ever booked 8 in his entire life. We've got 8 jobs already scheduled for him. That JRA call center, you can check it out at junkra.com or call us at 919-617-1975. Get signed up, get more freedom, book more jobs. How can you beat that? So today, I was having a talk with Shane earlier. Shane is our lead ads manager here at Junk Removal Authority, and I wanted to go over the Junk Doctors campaign. So I had my Junk Doctors hat on. And I said, Shane, give me the numbers. And he read through the amount of money we'd spent so far this month, the number of jobs we've gotten from it. He showed me some of the keywords that we'd been hitting. And I was like, dude, we got a problem. He's like, what's that? I said, man, we ain't spending enough money. I want to spend more money. How can I spend more money here? And he said, well, let's look in and see what other areas that we can start targeting. And I was like, we ain't spending enough money. We're spending $250,000 a year on Google Ads. I want to spend $350,000 a year, because the more I spend on it, the more that's going to come in. Find a way for me to spend more money so we can start getting more jobs. We ain't spending enough. So most people worry about spending too much money. I worry about spending too little, because if the less you spend, if you're leaving money on the table, if I got money sitting in a bank account, I want to put it to work. I want to put these little minions, my little minions right here. I want to stick these suckers to work. How can I take this bit? I don't know, it's what, $300 or something like that. How can I take that $300 and put it to work and make me more money? That's what I'm looking for. Too many people worry about spending too little. You need to get in the mindset of, one, I need to earn more so I can spend more, because when I spend more, it's going to start increasing the amount of income that we have. Put these babies to work for you. Put them to work for you. And the other thing that I absolutely hate, my wife has used this word. I've heard Shane use these words. I've heard people use these words all the time. Is something is expensive. I can't afford it. It's too rich for my blood. Those are 3 words you need to eliminate from your vocabulary, because the problem is, as soon as you say it's expensive, you're taking value out of it. It's, what can I spend money on this, and what's it going to give me in return? If I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and buy a torque wrench that's going to and pay $19 for it, and it breaks the 10th time that I try and torque down a bolt, have I really, I got to take time out and go get another one, or buy a different one from somewhere else? Have I really saved money, rather than I went and I bought a $200 torque wrench that is going to last for years and years and years, and probably be a heck of a lot more accurate on torquing down bolts to the proper torque? That Harbor Freight things, the tolerances on it are crazy. So you need to look at how much money, when I spend money on this, what's it going to give me back in return? Aaron, stop me if we got any questions or anything so far. We're good to roll? Okay. So some of these books you got, that one common book there is out there is The Millionaire Next Door. And The Millionaire Next Door talks about this individual that's 65 years old and has accumulated $1 million in net worth. And generally it's an individual that sat there and he's earned $40,000 a year for his entire life. He or she's earned $40,000 a year for his entire life, and they've lived bare bones, and they've saved up $1 million. That individual is celebrated in the society. People celebrate that person. Somebody that's got good American values, and that's great. Somebody that's sacrificed their life by putting off stuff, and they've accumulated this $1 million. Once you get to $65, what good's $1 million for anyway? And a million really isn't a ton of money when you start thinking about it. So this person saved their way to $1 million. They've probably lived a lot less than somebody that made the same amount of money and spent some throughout time. So Millionaire Next Door is really just some broke sucker who has money. Just because you got money in the bank account doesn't mean you're living rich or living a rich life. These individuals are great. I admire them in certain ways, but their money saving habits, you shouldn't try and save your way to $1 million. You need to try and earn your way to $1 million, which means you're gonna have to invest money in yourself, so you skill up, and you're gonna have to invest in people. In the case of junk removal, you're gonna have to invest in trucks and other business. It's gonna be some form of equipment. You're gonna have to invest in a building. This building right here, I didn't think we'd fill. This is a 1750 square foot office building. I didn't think we'd ever fill it up anytime soon. And we're moving into a 10,000 square foot office. Now, half of that's warehouse and half of it's gonna be office. But we're, in June. So you got to make that. We're not going to get to where we want to get in this building. We've got to move into a new building. And in our case now, we're not going to hit the revenue targets we need with the current number of trucks that we hit. I just took delivery on one truck this morning about an hour ago. We've got 2 more on order. One of what's supposed to be here March 29th, and we've been waiting on. So we're leveling up. We're allowing us to have the potential to fill it up, and it's up to Shane and Aaron and the rest of this marketing team to figure out what I can spend money on so we can start getting more and more customers. The absolute quickest way to become a millionaire is to not save. If there's one thing you can take away from this, the quickest and really the most reliable way to become a millionaire isn't saving. It's not getting a $6 cup of coffee from Starbucks for the next 30 years. That's not going to put you in millionaire status. It's not that. It's you need to figure out how to earn more money. You earn more money. That's the quickest way to become a millionaire. And getting your future income up is going to require you to spend money in order to make it.
So we've got a question from Damon on Facebook. He's asking about the call center. He says, can call center take text messages?
The call center, we've got a number that we can list in order for it to take text messages. That is correct. The picture messages, we're working out a detail on that now. What we would probably do is you still list, if somebody wants to text a picture in, it would likely just go to you for that picture message. You'd have to deal with that. Okay. All right. So what I always want to do is I evaluate where with the assets we have, what's the maximum potential we can do. So if we've got 10 trucks, the most money we can do, and this is busting our tails day in and day out. This is running our crews ragged. This is running our equipment ragged. The most we can do with 10 trucks is $3 million. I want to get Junk Doctors where it's doing $5 million. So that's $300,000. You figure at most, this is running ragged. You're going to need a backup truck really, so it's going to be tough to do this. But the minimum number of trucks that I'm going to need to get to $5 million. Let's see if I did this. 1, 2, 3, divided by 300K. $300,000 is about the best we're going to do in North Carolina per truck. Now, if you're in New York, somewhere with higher prices, you can probably do 400K. So I need 17 dump trucks for me to get to $5 million. And right now we're on pace to hit 12. So I got 4 more I got to get ordered for us to hit, or 4 more. 4 more. I'm struggling here. 5 more I got to order in order to hit that 17 truck mark. So I'm not going to order them all at once. I'm going to first fill up these 12, then I'm going to fill up 14, then I'm going to fill up 17. So, but I got to know I'm not where I need to be. Dale Earnhardt Jr., racing reference here, and I mention this from every so often. 2000 All-Star race, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Earnhardt Jr. with about 6 laps remaining, a caution comes out. I think Earnhardt's running third. And he said, where we are now, the best we can run is second. We need to come in and pit for tires. The problem is there's only 5 laps remaining. So the chances of him making his way up through the field are a lot less if he comes in and reaching that second or third position he was in, or much less if he comes in and pits for tires, but there's no chance of him winning. If he pits for tires, there's a remote chance that he reaches what he wants to reach. He comes in, he makes a car adjustment, he gets 4 tires, he comes back out. He restarts in like 7th position. I think there's 3 or 4 laps remaining in the race. He rockets up to the front with about a lap to go. He passes Dale Jarrett to take the lead, comes around, wins the race. And in victory lane, he said, we were not going to win with what we had. I could probably have gotten it up to second place. There's no way we were going to win. And we didn't come here to run second. We came here to take all the money. We came here to win the race. So he came in and he got those 4 tires. What is it? What does your business need? What are your 4 tires? What's your adjustment that your business needs so you can go ahead and start getting more business and start reaching the income goals that you want to achieve and achieving your dreams. You need to be thinking about that. If you don't have it now, go and get it. You got to get the stuff. You're not, so too many of you guys are putting the cart before the horse. You got to get the horse first before you get the cart. The cart's no good to you if the horse isn't pulling it along. So what I mean by that is you guys have to advertise. You're not going to have the money to advertise and do stuff until you actually advertise and do stuff. You got to figure that part out. I don't care how you get the money. You got to figure it out. So to me, you guys have people have excuses all the time. Well, I can't afford this new truck. You know, I can't get this new truck. I'm struggling. You know, I'm getting by on a pickup truck and trailer, and this pickup keeps breaking down on me once a month. But I can't afford a new truck, dude. You got to figure out how to get a new truck. You go and get a new truck, that's going to fill up. You're going to find a way to you're going to be making more money, which is going to allow you to afford that truck at that point. So what you guys have to convince yourself, and the problem is so many people. I was this way. I was raised this way. I was exposed to the same amount of people, but what you were told growing up is that you need to be happy with what you've got, and which is 100% correct. I am perfectly happy where I enjoy the hell out of my life right now. I'm happy where I'm at. That doesn't mean you don't ask for more. And too many of you guys are out there, you get to a certain level, or you just say, I don't deserve this amount of money. You see some guy making millions, it's like, I can't achieve that. There's no way I can achieve, there's no way I can build a $5 million a year junk removal business. That's not me. Well, that wasn't me. If you look at my GPA in high school, my class rank, I think there was 450 people in high school, and I think my class rate was 380. I was 380 out of 450 on the graduating class. I don't even remember my GPA. It was in the twos, for sure, probably mid to low twos. Anybody could have judged me in high school, and I had no college plan. I went to a community college. I only did that because my parents wanted me to. Anybody could have judged me in high school, and if they'd looked at me in high school, they said, this guy isn't going to amount to much. I seriously doubt there's anybody in the class of '08 that went to my high school that has been more successful than I have. We didn't have any pro athletes out there making $5 million a year, $10 million a year, $1 million a year, whatever. So I seriously doubt there's anybody that's been more successful than me. I don't care what you did in high school. I don't care how you were raised. You are capable of doing this if you're willing to take the risk, and if you're willing to get beat down and fight and get back up. You are perfectly capable of doing this. So one of the other things that I do, because I never want to limit. I always want to be exposed to positivity, and I never want to limit what can be achieved. So like recently, my wife came to me. She's got a Jeep. We got her a Jeep. She wanted a Jeep, so we got her a Jeep, and then she wanted to put a lift kit on the Jeep, which isn't crazy. I don't know, it's $5,000, but that's one example of I've never once, if she's come to me or if I've had a thought, I want something, I never once say I can't afford it, I can't get it. The question I ask myself is, all right, how can I get the money to be able to afford this, and how can I have the income to be able to support it? So my aviation habit takes a lot of money. But I figured out ways, and I'm figuring out more ways to allow that aviation to actually help earn me money, so I can go out and have fun by flying around the country in an airplane while I'm visiting customers. Why, if we're going to start doing a YouTube show, across the country on different things. I don't know when we're going to do it, but I mean that's one way we can earn money. We can visit truck vendors. We might start building these truck bodies on our own. So there's a bunch of different things we can do. I can keep that plane busy. It can earn me money while I'm having a damn good time. And that's one of the things that I try and think about. This is my wife's Jeep, by the way. I think it looks pretty badass. Just stuck it. It was a 3-inch lift, and she's got 35-inch tires on it. That's our dog, Rudder, Australian Shepherd. Then one of my dreams that I always wanted was my own airplane. So this is a Mooney. This is a 4-seat airplane. This is where in Roanoke, right after I got my instrument rating, we flew into a wedding up there at Roanoke Rapids in Virginia. And this is my next goal here that I'm working towards. This is it's a custom biplane called the Cox Hawk. It's an aerobatic aircraft. I've already worked out a deal to purchase it. And that's one of the things I'm working towards. You guys need to have goals like this, whatever it is. And it could be family related. You want to send your kids to a certain school. You want your kids to be able to play ice hockey. How about them Hurricanes last night? What do you think, Aaron? Ice hockey is not cheap. So whatever, you guys need to have some sort of goal that's pulling you towards something. And once you achieve that goal, you need something else. So the other thing that I'm aiming at is I want to replace this aircraft This is that's used. That's a 1978 model. I want to get a Cessna 210R. And a Cessna 210R is a 6-place aircraft, whereas mine's a 4. Here's some pictures of these things, but you can check out the interior of them. This is what's pulling me right now to help as many people as I can, because the more people you help, the more you're going to achieve. Some of these interiors are kind of old and dated, but I mean that's what's pulling me. What's pulling you? You got to you guys have to have something you're working towards. Or you're never going to achieve your results. If you're content on where you're at, if you don't have something pulling you, you're going to keep just going on doing what you've always done. All right, we got any questions? Okay, so again, I want to reiterate, you're going to have to spend money on investments. You're going to have to spend money on expansion. You're going to have to spend money on hiring people. You're going to have to spend money on equipment. You're going to have to spend money on facility. You're going to have to spend money on training. You're going to have to spend money on education. Every time you turn around in business, something's going to be taking your money. Spend it. Determine the value you're going to get and spend that money. If you do not spend it, you're never going to be able to buy any of that stuff that you guys want. So what I'd like everybody to do after this episode, if you haven't already, what do you want? And you need to define it. It's not just, I want to be successful. Well, what is successful to you? Is successful $50,000 a year income? At one point in my life, success was, I need to get to $50,000 a year. Then it became $100,000 a year, and then it became $250,000, and then it became so on and so forth. It kind of worked its way up. That was one of the things I wanted. The main thing I'm going after is I want freedom. In this case, this airplane right here is the ultimate in freedom to me. So I want to be able to go where I want, when I want, and see who I want. And that's what I'm after. What is driving you? Because if you don't have that clearly defined, you're not going to be able to achieve it. Many people start out wanting a lot. They then encounter a bad situation. They encounter difficulty, and then they give up. And I mean, even now, a couple successful companies, you know, there's difficulty, things that come up all the time. There's bills that have to get paid. Again, I'm taking this money. This money ain't just sitting in the bank. I'm putting this thing to try and earn more income. So a huge bill comes up, and with that bill, it's got to get paid. So you got to figure out, all right, you know, how am I going to pay this massive bill that's popped up maybe unexpectedly? You're going to have an issue. I had a truck that was wrecked, totaled, absolutely demolished. And that's got to get replaced. That camera just quit? Heard it knock off there.
I have actually. We're okay.
We still rolling?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So the thing you have to remember is when you guys are down and out, when you've encountered difficulty, you haven't lost anything until you give up or you sell. It's like the stock market. If you guys, people talk about, I lost X amount of money in the stock market, you didn't lose crap until you sold. If you had $200,000 worth of stock, it dropped to $100,000, you said I lost $100,000, you still got the shares. If you keep those shares and it's in something that has a good chance of recovering, then you hadn't lost anything. You still have the same number of shares. It's just going to take a little time for you to get back up to $200,000, but you hadn't lost anything. You haven't given up yet. Carolina Hurricanes last night, they started out this series against the defending Stanley Cup champions, Washington Capitals. They started out, they were down 2-0, and last night they were down 2 goals to no goals. They came back and they won that game in double overtime. They didn't believe they were out. They didn't give up. When they were down 2-0, when they were down 2-0, they were not they hadn't lost yet because they hadn't given up yet. They hadn't gotten to the lost 4 games at that point. So you got to keep working until you achieve what that goal is. And in the case of the Hurricanes, it was to win that series and advance to the next round. What are your goals? And then once you reach that goal, are you truly satisfied? This is one of the biggest mistakes people make is they achieve a goal and then they don't set new goals. So it's normally somebody that, if you achieve a goal, generally it's something you've worked hard towards, you probably have pride in, and you've probably enjoyed doing it along the way. I just had a friend, he just sold his company for several $100 million. He's already 3 months after he quit. This guy's got a jet. He jets all over the country. And he's already started another business because he's hungry. To him, the engagement and having to engage his mind is what he enjoys. He enjoys building something. And you guys need to find satisfaction out of building up your junk removal business. Do not treat this like any other job. If you're going to treat it like a job, go get a job. It's going to be less stress, probably more money, and everything in your life is probably going to be better unless you enjoy building a company, because building a company takes 100% commitment with you your spouse, everybody else in your life has to be on board, or you're never going to build a company that truly gives you freedom in your life. Guys, what I want to remind everybody, you're going to have setbacks. You're going to have difficulties. You're going to have stress. Enjoy every single moment of it the best you can. What I do when I have these issues is, I mean, yeah, you feel like kind of this pit of your stomach. I mean, you know that feeling. It hurt. Something hurts because you're stressed. You're worried about stuff. Then you kind of say, well, hell, it's not a good problem to have. It's a great problem to have. I've worked through this stuff in the past. I'm going to work through it again. I need to focus in not on everything that has to get done. I need to focus in on how I'm going to solve this one problem. I'm going to fix that, and I'm going to keep moving forward. If you guys do that, you guys are going to be able to push through those difficulties. I've been like the Hurricanes, guys. I've been down 2 games. I've been down 2 goals, and I've fought back. And it will happen again. I'm going to something's going to kick me in my tail again, and I'm going to be down again. But I'm not going to be out until I give up. And that's one thing you got to remember here.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of questions coming in. One's from Lewis on YouTube. Currently, he's a 1-truck team member part-time. As of right now, he's got revenue that he's earned for the past 7 months that he's been doing this. It's sitting, he's been saving it, but he wants to do this fully. So he's asking, what recommendation do you have? Go full-time hire, hire someone part-time. He has a truck and trailer and a box truck, and he currently works this during the weekends.
Yep.
And after 5 p.m., he tries to schedule jobs for those times, and he tries to get someone to do it during the day, but isn't always successful and knows he's losing customers.
Okay, so Lewis, what I need, and we'll go on to another question here until Lewis responds. How long ago did he place that message? A few minutes ago?
Yeah,
okay.
He's still on.
Okay, great. So, Lewis, I need to know what other job you're working, what kind of money you're making off of that, how much money you've had saved up over the past 7 months. I mean, those are basically the 2 things I need to know, and then let me know what area you're in as well. If you give me that information, I'll get that answered. What other question do we have?
Yeah, so we've got, sorry, finding this one again. Here we go. And we got one from Brandon at Top Tier Junk Removal. It seems hard to navigate away from Yelp in my market. We're in San Diego. Any suggestions on an approach with Yelp ads?
Embrace Yelp. Love Yelp. Treat Yelp like the person. I mean, Yelp is somebody you just have to learn to love. It's somebody you hate, but you know that if you're going to achieve the level of success that you need, you got to learn to love that person. You got to look at that person, and you might be disgusted, but you got to put a fake smile on your face. California is the only market in the country where Yelp is really better than Google Ads. And this comes from a Google Ads. I mean, I love Google Ads. That doesn't mean you don't do Google Ads, but that means you got to get your Yelp game right first because it is so huge in California. So run a deal on Yelp. And also, I'm not 100%. I think Yelp has changed a few things, so my recommendations I give here could be a bit dated. But I'd run a deal on Yelp. I'd pay Yelp extra so you can have the expanded profile. I'd put a great video on Yelp. I'd make sure I'd respond to Yelp inquiries as quick as possible. The messages you get when people quote request in California, God, they're annoying. You can think about turning those off because in our experience, if somebody asks for a quote and your pricing's higher, the only way to get those jobs is bait and switch, which I'm not going to do. So the companies that get these Yelp jobs from estimates generally bait and switch. You can respond and you'll get some work back. It's going to be a lot of responses, a lot of time to do it. Generally how we do it is I actually, instead of giving an estimate, I say request more info. And then I come in and I say, so you may be around so-and-so because we charge based on the amount of volume your space takes up in our truck. Here's what I can tell you though, is we can go ahead and get this thing taken care of for you. And we're going to give you a firm estimate up front. Us and every company on here really needs to see this stuff in person. If you get a price from some individual, if you're getting a price from another company and they haven't seen it yet, it's more than just an item or two, chances are they're going to show up on site and they're going to change that price. Let us come on out, take a look, get you a firm price. Obviously, I'm not typing all that in. There's a different way I'm saying that, but that's what I'm going after. But yeah, you got to embrace Yelp in California.
Lewis had just replied with Dallas, Texas, but I don't see the...
Okay, so, and Lewis, if you don't want to provide the other info, that's fine. So let me give you a couple scenarios here. If you're out there and let's say right now you're doing $4,000, say $5,000 a month on your junk removal business, I'm going to keep, but you've got a job where you're making say $50,000 or $60,000 a year. You probably want to keep that $60K a year job, but you want to go ahead and for now you want to hire a couple people that you trust, and you're going to need to pay them. You're going to need to pay them full time. So you need to take care of these individuals, or at least you need to pay them consistent hours. If you tell them 30 hours a week, both expect 25, 30 hours a week. You need to make sure you're paying them for 25 or 30, even if you don't have that amount of work. And then you need to take where you're making 60 now. You need to be able to live off of 30, and you need to take 30 and invest it in your company and paying these individuals even when you don't have work to go out and put flyers out, door hanger flyers, to wave signs, to stick out yard signs, whatever. And then you need to take money and put it towards advertising so you can start filling that schedule up. As soon as that schedule gets to the point where, let's say if you're currently making $60,000 a year with your current job and you get to the point where you're profiting somewhere around $30K with your junk removal business, it might be time at that point to step off, get into that junk removal business, and work that thing full time. Because once you can start working it full time, your income's going to go up and you should be able to replace your current job.
And he did say he's currently at 22 an hour and he's doing 5 to 6K and on average
Per month?
Per month junk removal.
Well, aren't I pretty good? I guessed that perfectly. So 20. Yeah. All right. So what is 22? What is that? About a $50,000 a year job?
Should be.
22 times 40, unless he could be getting overtime. 22 times 40 is 880 times 52. $45,000 a year job. So, you know, I would I'd do as many junk removal jobs as you can after hours and on weekends, you know, when you're not working. And then I would get you a couple guys that are able to do jobs throughout the day too. Because all of you guys that are just doing stuff after hours, you will be missing same day appointments, next day appointments. You're going to be missing stuff. And I'd also, I would live as cheaply as possible as you can and invest in advertising so you can get more jobs. And we can certainly help you out with that if you'd like. Just give us a call. Any other questions on anything, guys?
That's it for now.
Okay, so guys, I just want to tell everybody, it's very neat for me because we've been working with some people. We work with two ends of the spectrum. We've got young guys that are just taking a risk, and everything they got, they're putting on this deal. They're going all in. And then we got guys who've been successful in the past, and they've got extra money, but they're still going. They're going all in as much as they can. But a lot of times they have money left over. And that's great. We're able to take what these guys have. We're able to turn into an investment. We're able to make them even more successful and help them build up something that a lot of them are going to want to sell. The other guys, I get a lot of satisfaction out of seeing. We've got a couple. We got a young guy. He's 31. He just had his second kid. He's going through some stressful situations right now, but he's spending money. He's ready to go to a second truck. He's been in business about 7 months. The profits are low. He's struggling a little. He's stressed out right now. If he makes it through one more year, he's in 7 months. If he gets through another year and a half, that dude's going to be making a serious amount of money. He's going to have people working for him, and that stress is going to be much more reduced. You got to do these hard things to get to that point, though. If you have nothing, you got to risk it all in order to build something large. That's the only way you're going to do it. Keep dreaming, keep striving, keep taking chances. Do not cash out and don't sell when your stock is down. If you're going to sell, then sell when that baby is up. JRA's here to help. We got any last minute questions? So we are here to help. If you guys want to work with us, we've done it before. We will treat your business like our own. I mean, I can tell you 100% certainty, there's very, very few marketing companies out there that are going to look at you as more as just an income coming in. I got my dreams. We got dreams we want to achieve. I've shown you that. So we have to be profitable, but we're going to treat you, we want to see you be profitable as well. We want to see you achieve your dreams. We're here to help. 919-617-1975. Check us out at JunkRA.com. My name is Lee Godbold with the Junk Removal Authority. We'll be back on Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Check us out at JunkRA.com. See y'all soon. Go Canes.